Sure, it's hot, and well, it's cool too. Very few sports cars aren't. James Bond's ride in GoldenEye, the Z3, was a massive hit for BMW worldwide. And since the first generation arrived in 2002 and then the next generation, which is the current car, in 2009, the Z4 has been a huge hit for BMW as well. How often can I lean on the roof of a car and talk to you? Well, that's how low slung this car is. You've seen it before, huge ample hood, very sporty. It's almost emphasizing the kind of power this car has. That's intentional. You've seen the car before, so I will not go on about the styling. What you are seeing new is the facelift, which is a bit of a tweaking to the front grille and the headlamp cluster. Nice and attractive face, and you've also got the gills on the side, which have been redone, if you want to call them that. Lots of chrome, but not offensive. It looks nice. It emphasizes the sporty nature, which is interesting, and I like the way it's been done. The other thing that I'm liking, despite the fact that the car is grey, and usually I'm not a fan of that color, but take a look at this. The two-tone works really well. Looks nice, looks upmarket, and also almost has a retro quality to it. Around the back, the tail light has also been tweaked, but you're not really picking up on too many changes there. The thing you want to know is how the car drives. Well, it's still got its driving credentials, I can tell you. And the other thing you want to know, how it looks with that top down. Let's get on with both of those. So without further ado, let me do the honors. There, looks meaner as a roadster now, doesn't it? There are several variants in both 2 and 3 litre configurations on the Z4. With me today is the S-Drive 28i. This is the most potent of the 4-cylinder variants. The car has an impressive 350 Nm of torque. I got the Z4 out on the road, but due to the dipping temperatures in and around Munich, I had to keep the roof up. The car's 8-speed sport automatic transmission has very soft yet quick changes. The individual gears are finely graduated so that the change takes place with small rev intervals, and the transmission process is barely perceptible. At higher speeds, there are fewer revs due to multiple gears, thus meaning more efficiency. The paddle shift makes it more fun. And yes, all variants of the Z4 have the Drive Dynamic Control System, which allows you to select normal, sport and sport plus modes to adjust the throttle, steering and stability control. But it's the 245 horses I had for company that really made this a fun drive. So nice mean figures. It's been a lot of fun driving the 28i, I can tell you. Especially when you put it into sport mode, it just sounds a lot better too, besides the fact that it's a more dynamic drive. But the 35i will lead the lineup in India, and that model is something Bala had the chance to drive a few weeks ago. Let's check in on his experience with the Z4. In fact, this is the range topper that we have next, the S-Drive 35IS. Now the 35i and the 35IS are both 6-cylinder variants, but the 35IS is the more powerful one. Bala drove the Z4 35IS Roadster from Munich to the highest mountain in Austria.
Now you really need a scenic spot like this with the Alps in the backdrop to match the beauty of the Z4 Roadster. Now BMW already sells the Z4 in India in just one variant, but what we're going to see very soon is this, the updated version with some exterior and interior changes. Now BMW clearly believes that this is a car that sells purely on emotions of customers, and that's why they've gone ahead and made this even more beautiful. Now interestingly, the top selling market for the Z4 is China. And that's quite a surprise, isn't it? That's even ahead of Germany and the US. Now in India, the strategy is going to be very different. It's not going to be a volumes driver. It's going to be completely a very niche segment that they're going to target. They're also in talks for product placement for the Z4 Roadster in a Bollywood film.
By the way, the standard bi-xenon twin circular headlights feature LED rings, but what looks really cool is that besides the rings, there's also a new eyebrow shape that's been added to the LED daytime running lights. The striking Valencia orange is similar to what you saw recently on the Jaguar F-Type and was also BMW's launch color for the refreshed X1 in India a few months ago. The Valencia orange comes as a part of BMW's Design Pure Traction trim option, which basically means that you also get plenty of orange tastefully complementing black on the inside of this two-seater. The black leather seats get orange contrast stitching, and the bespoke Alcantara door panel trim is also in orange. The retractable hardtop roof on this car is black non-metallic to match the orange, and then there was the Glacier silver metallic on the car that I was driving. This has now been developed to be opened or closed on the move, and of course that's at slower speeds below 30 km per hour. Pretty neat, huh? Out on the smooth Austrian roads, the 35IS's turbocharged 3-litre petrol engine roars its way through with minimal effort. Rear-wheel drive adds to the fun, especially on these winding roads, and keeps the driver engaged with a quick response that's generated. The car's steering is super quick. So quick, in fact, that the rest of the car almost has trouble keeping pace, meaning there are some sore points on the driving dynamics. So like we said, the Z4 comes with 5 engine options, with BMW's twin-power turbo technology on board all of them. The S-Drive 35IS, though, generates a massive 340 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. The 6 cylinders have the 7-speed dual-clutch transmission for company. The 35IS also has an overboost function which gives you an extra 50 Nm of torque, taking it to a wonderful 500 Nm. The 35IS is also slightly longer and lower compared to the 35i or the rest of the range due to its M Sport package. BMW will launch the updated Z4 in India by the end of this year. Even though I enjoyed the 4-cylinder 2-litre 28i, I believe that BMW will want to go all the way and offer only the 6-cylinder twins, since this car will be a direct import and therefore pricey anyway.